Our first stop on day 2 was 7-Eleven for a little pre-adventure snack.
It's so cute.
I'm not a big egg person, but this quickly became my favorite 7-Eleven snack of all time.
Oh, that's good. You know, like the broth from like ramen, but like instant chicken ramen.
Oh,
That's what it tastes like.
oh, it's like that egg yolk.
Yeah.
Right, orange.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so good. Oh, look, it like keeps it from getting funky.
Oh.
But that almost ate the plastic last time I was in Thailand because I don't know how to do it. Okay, now what do I do? Take this cucumber out because I don't like cucumber. This one's okay, but it's definitely like, you know, the taste of like packaged tuna, which I don't love. Cool down. Doing it wrong, yeah, I do it wrong every time. There we go. Oh shit. The egg was definitely the best. I'm gonna have to get another egg one day. Like breakfast tomorrow.
I feel like I'm gonna be thinking about this on
So on day 1, we did things Priscilla really wanted to do, and on day 2, we did things I really wanted to do. So my first stop was the Pokemon shop in Tokyo Station. And one of the most important stops on the trip was getting my Lego passport stamped at Tokyo Station. If you didn't already know about this, you need to go to your local Lego store and get you a passport. It is free and you can get it stamped all over the world. So the next stop, we actually had to scan our IC cards to go into, but this is the Tokyo Milk Cheese Factory stall inside of Tokyo Station. I wish it had been a full shop, but that was my bad. Either way, I got the most amazing snacks from here, and I will definitely go back one day to the actual storefront because these are delicious. Next was one of the many Pokemon centers around Tokyo. This was the Pokemon Center DX. And I actually didn't realize how many different ones there were around the city. So when I go back, I will definitely be hitting the other ones up. This one is so cool though. You walk in and you see the giant Snorlax. There's the Pokemon Cafe here. Unfortunately, we didn't get to eat there because you have to have reservations pretty far out and flying standby. It's just really hard to do that. But next time I will definitely make sure I go. Just look how cute this display dish is. And when I tell you that everything in Japan comes out looking exactly as advertised, it's truly something cool. This might be one of my favorite souvenirs of all time. I have been getting smushed pennies since I was a child. I have a huge collection and I was so excited to see this in here. I also recently saw a post where someone had gotten smashed pennies as a tattoo, and I think that might be my next tattoo to add to my travel piece. Also, anybody who knows me well knows I'm a weirdo and I love eating with really small spoons and forks, so when I saw these, I had to grab them, along with some stickers and such. By this point, we had already walked a ton, and it was time to hit up Kura, my all-time favorite revolving sushi place, for some sushi. I didn't know what to expect because I haven't been to Kura in Japan, but I have been to Kura in the US probably 25, 30 times. So I will say this is one of the places I was most excited to visit. However, I do feel like this is the one thing that the US actually does better than Japan. I won't say it was bad, it just wasn't quite as good as Kura in the US. And really, I think the biggest difference was just the lack of variety. There were so many fewer options here than in the US. They did have some really unique options though, like this corn sushi. It was like corn, mayo, and then seared, which was pretty cool. And this is my personal favorite. This was the tuna yako, because as y'all know by now, I am a sucker for eggs in Japan. And I was really sad because I didn't think we were going to get a prize because in the US it's 15 plates and we were full, but luckily they do it at 10 plates in Japan. So that was a win. Because we had Kura at the Asakusa location, we were just a few minutes walk from the Kaminarimon gate. And my apologies if I butchered that. This was a super populated, super touristy area, but it was still really cool to see. Next up, we headed to HatCoffee, which is an art latte stand. I found this on Instagram forever ago. They actually do 3D and 2D art. We were hoping to get our dogs in 3D, but they said they could only do 2D in the images, but that was fine. It was still really cool to watch. Here he is looking at a photo he took from Priscilla's phone of her dog, Sushi, and he's recreating it right in front of us. And of course, I had to get my girl Puppy. She is my once-in-a-lifetime dog that had passed away at the end of 2022. However, she is my baby for life, and I had to get this in honor of her. And he did pretty good. I will say that both of our dogs did come out a little chunkier than they really were, but it was still really cool to watch. No trip to Japan is complete without hitting up a Don Quixote, which is where you get souvenirs, electronics, everything you could possibly think of. Somehow this is the only video I ended up with, which is this like low-key kind of disturbing horse oil shampoo and conditioner. I don't know. After that, we headed to Kappabashi Street, which is known for their display food, kitchenware, dishes, anything you can imagine. But I was eager to get my hands on some of this fake food. It is insanely realistic. I ended up getting the one on the left. This ramen looks so real. And had I had space for it, I would have 100% got this clock in the background, and I'm still regretting that I didn't. Along the route of our next attraction, we found this unique Pringles vending machine. This is just one of many times where I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I just was pressing buttons.
No idea what's over there.
Let me see.
It just is like spinach and salt.
From there, we headed to Senso-Ji Temple, where you could see great views of the Tokyo Sky Tree and do a variety of rituals and fortunes. The first thing we did was to get these fortunes. So basically you shake up this metal container, a little stick comes out, you match it to the drawer where you pull out a fortune. You can either get a good fortune or a bad fortune. Unfortunately, I got a bad one.
I got a bad fortune.
But that's okay, because if you get a bad fortune, you tie it over here to this little railing thing and you leave it behind. Next, we stopped here at this fountain where you're supposed to wash your hands in a certain way to purify yourself before going into the temple.
I just chose that
Once again, I'm struggling. Don't know what to do, but Priscilla is coaching me through it. Still doing it wrong, but you know, I tried my best. Outside of the main hall, there was a large incense burner, so you could purchase incense and do your own cleansing ritual. They had these little areas where you could light them, and then you walk it over and you put it in the giant burner and waft the smoke around you, which is supposed to symbolize healing and cleansing. This is the only video I got, but the temple was so stunning. Next, we took the train and then walked the remainder of the way towards Tokyo Tower, but first we made a little stop at 7-Eleven for some drinks and snacks. The Tokyo Tower looks so cool, especially this time of night, and a few minutes after this is when it lit up, which was extra special to see. On the way back to the Airbnb, we decided to stop at CoCo Curry House for dinner. This was suggested to me by one of my former pilots from my airline. He raved about it and we had to go check it out. This was also another amazing meal that we had multiple times. This one had little fried chicken pieces, the most amazing cheese croquette, curry, more cheese, and rice. This doesn't look like much, but it was so freaking good. And make sure to come back next week for day 3 adventures.